Hello, everyone. How you guys doing? This is Andreas, Pop Culture Guy. Chris and I are back again for another spectacular Andreas Pop Culture Talk. Chris, how you doing?
Good. How are you doing, buddy?
Really good. I mean, it's already Thursday.
Yep. It's
Yeah,
almost
so,
Friday. This week went by pretty fast.
yes, yes. Well, finally, you're back again. So today we're gonna discuss the Flash trailer discussion, the trailer 2 that came out at CinemaCon at April. Uh,
Yep.
I think this trailer came out on April 25th. Tuesday, and then of course we're gonna have our finally a spoiler cast on John Wick Chapter 4, so we can discuss that. So yeah. Anyway, how you been? How you doing? So get how you doing? Everyone probably wants to know what you've been doing.
I've been trying to. I would say I've been enduring. It's definitely. It's been a rough. I would say a rough year. For us as a family.
Mm,
With that, my dad dealing with cancer, and I'm still looking for work right now, and the
yeah.
whole thing with my cousin. You know,
Ooh. Yeah. How was that? Like.
yeah. So the trial is supposed to be next month.
Okay.
He's definitely like going to jail. I think the whole thing is about how long and probably discuss go into detail about the motive. And recently, his parents, they had gotten his scooter and the clothes that he wore when he was murdered. So you can only imagine how emotional it must have been for them. So that's where we're at right now, and we're just hoping for the best, and we're just trying to persevere. But mentally and emotionally, it's been a lot.
Yeah. Uh, I know it's very tough. Well, hopefully, the trailer, sorry, not trailer, trial, goes smoothly. Hopefully, it goes away. But yeah, yeah, and thank goodness your dad, yeah, made it through to the surgery, which is good. Um,
Yeah,
thank
thank you.
goodness.
Well,
Yeah.
we had a little bit of a health scare because there's we noticed that his ankles were swollen, and his doctor
Mm,
was concerned and told him that he needed to go to the hospital to check to see if he had any blood clots. But thankfully he didn't.
okay.
And he was in the hospital. He was in the hospital for a while, and he couldn't get much sleep. But thankfully, there's no blood clots, and since then, looks like he's been able to get a lot of rest. So he's back home. He's back home now, and we're just making sure that he's okay, and making changes to his diet, and we'll see where it goes from there.
Yeah, yeah. Well, well, that's good. Thank you, Chris, for sharing that. So, let's get into the first thing. This Flash trailer 2 discussion.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I guess. Well, what's your thoughts on the Flash trailer? I guess for trailer 2. Did you like it? You didn't like it? Was it better than the first trailer we got? So, just give me all your thoughts.
I wouldn't. I would say. I would say that definitely. I think most people would probably say the second trailer was better than the first, since you got a lot more out of what to expect in regards to time travel.
Mm,
And I'm sure you're aware there's already been plot leaks about the film, and I'm sure you saw that there was already early reviews about the film, which was amazingly positive. So I would say the second trailer is really great, and I'm not sure if you caught this. I thought we got to see a little bit more of a Dark Flash, and it looks like I don't think he's going to be the main villain of the movie. I think it's definitely going to be, it's going to be General Zod.
yeah.
Um, and what it looks like to me, in just my opinion, that basically Flash will have to like undo everything that undo the consequences of traveling through time and changing outcomes at different periods of history. And James Gunn has already said that the Flash movie will reset the entire DC universe. So I think it's pretty obvious of how this story is going to play out.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's funny you brought up Dark Flash. I think. Hey, do you know last Sunday we went to the GameStop and I think I got the Rocket Funko Pop. I
Mm-hmm.
think the Dark Flash was there. Actually, it was very funny.
Well, you
Uh,
did.
yeah, yeah. So, I mean, these the leaks like are what's funny about the leaks? Not only is from Reddit or Twitter, I guess. Mainly Reddit, right? And the
Yeah.
leaks are from the toys. Like the toys are like leaking information
Mm-hmm.
what's going on. Like Dark Flash has been kind of spoiled already, so I guess they're doing that.
Yeah.
I'm kind of curious where they're gonna do it. Yeah, I think the Barry 2 like did like a world um doing the classic Flash world tour and like beat him. I think that's like the shot I think we saw for the trailer too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the thing with, I'm glad you pointed out with Reddit. I would say, Reddit has a pretty good reputation of somehow getting leaks from upcoming films. I remember it was before Wakanda Forever came out. It was 2 years ago. It was in 2021. I read the entire plot was leaked, and when we saw the film, you know, it played out exactly how the plot said, and it was released. And I saw in that plot leak. It was the year before it came out.
Yeah.
Yes, from a Daniel RPK. He's a pretty known Marvel leaker. So and I think that, and plus, with the Flash, you can clearly see the elements of Flashpoint. So I already know how this movie's gonna turn out. I'm just excited to see how it's gonna turn out. So I can't wait to see this film.
Yeah, I can definitely see that.
And he's my favorite hero. He's my favorite superhero. One of them at least.
Mhm, I can see that. The Flash. I guess we're assuming your favorite.
Yeah, from the DC universe, the Flash. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So yeah. So wait. So your number one is the Flash. Huh.
The Flash is my second.
Okay.
Well, in the DC, the Flash is my first favorite hero, and for Marvel, it's Black Panther.
Oh yeah. Huh. See, I can take Black Panther. um, oh yeah, yeah. Come on. I mean, you cannot drop. Like, I mean, Black Panther, Wakanda, Mijaga, the guards that the Black Panther has,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah. I mean, by the way, it's one of the best fictional countries ever. Made in comic books, I'll say. So that's cool. Yeah, yeah.
Hopefully, we can see Wonder Woman. I mean, Ben Affleck he did kind of spoil her cameo on the Flash. I'm not sure if you're aware of that.
Yeah, that was that's what he was talking about. Huh.
Yes, well, since the way he described it was in one scene, Batman gets saved from Wonder Woman,
Okay.
and he uses the lasso of truth, and it forces you to reveal like your true feelings, right?
Yeah.
And from that, and what Affleck is explained from that scene, for him, he finally learned how to play Batman by Bruce Wayne revealing, like, I guess, like his true feelings and his star and his scars, from his past and stuff like that. So he basically spoiled that scene, but I'm not sure if that's going to be kept in the movie because I've heard rumors that it might be cut.
Yeah.
So
Same
that
thing with Superman. I mean,
Oh yeah, I think that scene will be cut because like Henry Cavill, he's not playing Superman anymore, so I don't see
yeah,
the point of. So if they were to keep that scene, and it might confuse fans, but you never know. Hopefully, the studio would be like, why don't we keep that scene for like when it comes out on DVD, just for fans to just see him one last time, and
yeah, yeah. I agree. I, I'm just kind of curious. I mean, it could be kind of interesting if they release it on the internet and all that.
right.
But yeah. So I guess one other. So I thought the trailer too was pretty good. Not
Mm-hmm.
should not talk too much about it. I mean, it just was like it's kind of just pumping you for the June release. We saw more Michael Keaton. That's the big
Yeah.
thing. I'm
Mm-hmm.
very curious by seeing this because I'm a Batman fan, so obviously that's the big push they're trying to do with this film with the Keaton involvement. So very interesting. I really like the dialogue in the beginning of the trailer. I actually had a chance to rewatch it today before we did the recording. I think the Colt, him dressing as Batman was just for him to try to like trying to how you say relieve the pain of his parents' death and all that. And,
Absolutely.
and I thought that was really cool. So I'm really excited to see more character depth with the Keaton Batman. Because the biggest problem, if you've seen the Tim Burton Batman films, it was like nearly not focused on Batman. It was mainly the villains, with Jack Nicholson's Joker and Michelle Pfeiffer
Yeah.
and
And that's
Catwoman.
interesting. That's interesting you point out because this movie is set 30 years after the events of Batman. Batman Returns,
Yeah, 31 years. Let's be.
and I think the folks is referring to like the timeline in that movie. And I don't. Um, and
Yeah. Well,
and
I'm.
it looks
Oh,
like definitely. Michael Keaton. He's going to have a very big presence in the film. And definitely,
yeah.
according to some of the plot leaks I've read, that he's definitely going to be, I'd say, the MVP of this movie, and that he will
Yeah.
actually be the reason the Flash, gets his power backs. Apparently, 'cause apparently he
Yes.
loses his powers at one point, but
Yes.
he uses
Well,
his
yeah. Oh, good point of bringing that up. So that's directly from the Flashpoint story. I think. Yeah, I think it was this trailer, right? I think you saw more like if anyone haven't read the Flashpoint storyline, the way Barry gets his powers back is to get himself electrocuted, kind of like the Benjamin
Mhm.
Franklin kite thing
Yeah.
way. And so here, I think this trailer actually kind of confirmed that they actually gonna do that, just like the comic, because you see the Batwing from Keaton's Batwing flying, and like there's like a wire or a rope with the bat plane, and the thing the electricity is hit the plane and it goes down. So I think that's the one thing that trailer did convey is like we saw like a couple more Flashpoint allusions from the story, from the graphic novel and storyline, if you want to call it.
Yeah, exactly. And I think and definitely the film will also highlight just the consequences of traveling through time and constantly changing things. And it look
Yep.
and since the Flash is going to reset the DCU, I think at some point I would say probably near the end or at the very end, the Flash would realize that that he can't keep changing timelines, he can't keep changing events because that's going to bring more disastrous consequences, for the universe and throughout the other universes out there. Now that a multiverse has been established for DC,
Right.
um, uh, and I see with Supergirl and Batman, I feel like in their eventual fight with General Zod, it's only going to end with either of them dying or seriously hurt. Because
Yeah.
what I think is that what I think about time travel, and I'm not sure. Correct me if I'm wrong. That with when you try to like constantly change events, I feel like time will just simply reinvent itself, and the outcome would just be the same.
Yeah. I mean, time travel. I mean, if you want to talk about time travel in general, everyone has their different interpretations of time travel. I mean, like, it kind of depends on like what the creator does it. Like, how do I explain? Oh, okay. Like X-Men: Days of Future Past and Avengers Endgame. So, like, apparently in Avengers Endgame, the time travel, like, how they got all the Infinity Stones from the different times they got. So they had to be careful because it could easily branch out a new timeline, right? Presumably, that's what we sort of got. And then, but with X-Men: Days of Future Past, that one, it was more like a butterfly effect. So that, like, what you're talking is more like that way. I don't know what the Flash. Well, first off, this is not really time travel. This is like a multiverse change. Like, so it's gonna be first time travel, but then it's gonna be radically more multiverse. I think that's the thing I'm a little curious about with this movie. Like, I this is something that's very weird about the Flash. It's like you do a time travel, but then like he's like the most powerful superhero, right? He's a speedster, and you get him time travel, and then it's like he builds this new universe. It's kind of weird. So I'm kind of wondering how they're gonna land this new universe with DC. I mean, because that's not like time travel. Like time travel is either you change the outcome of a future that hasn't happened yet on the character's projection, or you know, there's like multiple like branches of time that we are not aware of. So I'm just kind of curious what we're gonna do with this time travel thing, Flash.
Wait, yeah, I have to wait. So the way time travel works, time travel gives you the ability to change future outcomes that hasn't happened at the present moment.
Yeah, like like because like I mean, someone from your descent or someone from that particular time comes back trying to change something in this moment, is gonna be different from now to that present future. Um, yeah. So, it's sort of like Star Trek. If you seen the '09 one, it's sort of like that. So
Yeah, actually, yeah. Let me. I'm definitely gonna look into time travel and how it works and how obviously it's been a big thing as of late within Marvel and DC and
yeah, yeah.
how they see it. I have to admit, yeah, because when I heard changing outcomes, future outcomes that hasn't happened yet, I was like, wait, so is that future outcome in another universe, or like it hasn't happened in this present,
Future,
in this
like, yeah. I I don't know. That's time travel is very wonky in terms of writing. You have to be careful what you're gonna do because you're gonna give a lot of like unanswered questions for me to answer, and so yeah. But it's weird because we're doing multiverse, right? How the heck, pardon my French, how the heck uh, is multiverse time travel? I don't get that. That's just so weird. Time travel is going back in time, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, I'm very curious what they're gonna do with that. We just have to wait and see what they're gonna do with that with the Flash, because I mean, I personally, like, I discussed this in the Marvel Plus stuff with Will. I personally don't like the way that Marvel Studios kind of have done it. Like, I don't like Endgame's time travel at all. Really, it's just
Really?
great.
I didn't know you felt that way.
Yeah, I mean, well, because the creators, the Russo brothers and the writers, the McFeely or something like that, they didn't they did not agree on the set of rules and condition of their time travel, and that annoys me. If you don't have a set of rules and conditions, your story kind of falls apart.
Okay.
Like,
Yeah.
I don't know, your friends talk about this, but like, everyone had kind of questioned like Captain America being older in that timeline. Like, is he the Captain America? Like, is this like a new branch of timeline? You know what I mean? It just boggles your mind. It's like, what is going on? So, like, that's why I like X-Men Days of Future Past more over Endgame. If you want to hear more of this, like, Will had Endgame, I think, at number one for his top favorite Marvel movies in general. And I had X-Men Days of Future Past. We explained why he liked it. What I like Days of Future Past over Endgame. Why not? I don't know. I just, uh, you know, the best like time travel um for stories is like Back to the Future, Terminator. Like, those two are like the standard gold time travel movies, right? And
Mm-hmm.
see that it just really works. But yeah. All right. Let's kind of wrap up the Flash trailer discussion so we can get into Baba Yaga Chapter 4. Yes. Any more thoughts on the Flash trailer? Something we should bring up, but I mean, it was a good trailer. I liked it, so I'm excited for
Yeah.
two.
I do. I do have a feeling, and I wonder is if the past version of Barry is going to become Dark Flash. And I even
Mm,
wondered if are we going to somehow still see E-Boy Thawne, but it looks like I don't think we'll see him.
yeah, that's well. I think the Dark Flash being another version of Barry makes kind of sense. I mean, they kind of did that with the Flash show with the third season when they did Saboteur. So, yeah, I think that's like their the Eobard Thon thing. I think it makes sense. Now, I don't know. It's kind of weird. I saw something on YouTube about maybe this Dark Flash could be amalgamation of
Mm-hmm.
Reverse Flash and a variant Barry. I seems like it. Because they're teasing Reverse Flash, right? Like if you've seen the other Barry, the second Barry, right? He has the Lelo. That's associated with the Reverse Flash. So, um, but yeah. I don't know. It's kind of weird. We have to wait and see. I mean, it's very fascinating. They've been hiding that in the trailers, but it's kind of like common sense now, really, since the leaks of toys, and the
Mm-hmm.
Funko Pops. So,
Yeah.
we'll see. But anyway, I think it'd be. Are you good for the flashlight? Are you ready to go to John Wick Chapter 4?